Hey, it's the Preacher, and I promised you a tomato testing video, and today you're going to get it. One thing I want to say, these are Daily Chef food service knives. You get these at Sam's, get a 4-pack for like $4.25. So they're like $1 a piece. You can't beat that. And you just get you a little ceramic steel. They work great. Okay, what I have is all the tomatoes, or at least one of every kind of tomato in our garden, and I'm going to cut it open. I'm going to show you what the inside looks like. I'm going to put a little salt on it. I'm going to put a little pepper on it, and I'm going to take a bite. I know, I'm doing it in the name of science. I'm suffering through homegrown tomatoes so that you don't have to eat bad tomatoes, okay? I even have a little, what do you call this? A little Kool-Aid. I think this is cherry Kool-Aid, the kind you squirt in water. Anyways, to cleanse my palate. Alright, let's start off with the most prolific grower of them all, the yellow pears. My wife picked them today. This is like 2 days off 2 plants. I don't know how well you can see all of them. You can pick that much about every 2 days off 2 plants, planted side by side. So, we love these. We eat these all the time. I've got a couple of them here. I'll give you an idea of size. Let me slice one open longwise and show you the inside of it. There you go. Get that up there where you can maybe see that. I don't know if you see that or not. Let me taste it for you. Favorite part. A little pepper. A little salt. Oh. Let's see what we got. These are firm. They're sweet. They're not real acidic. Great tomato. Look good in a salad. I recommend these. We've grown these several times. We'll keep growing these. They're great. Let's go with the largest tomato that we have. And actually these are probably 2 of the smallest of the variety, but this is the mortgage lifters. We're not real crazy about these. They're okay. But they are a very big, meaty tomato. And let me core it up real quick while I tell you about it. I have 2 of these planted in the garden. They make giant tomatoes. Let me take that phone call and we'll pick back up where we left off. Hello? Where was we before we were so rudely interrupted? Yes, mortgage lifters. These are probably 2 of the smallest that we've picked. Usually, some of them are twice this size. They'll kind of grow out, and you kind of cut them in half, and you got 2 tomatoes this size. Let me cut this thing down the middle, and I'll give you a look at the inside. You can kind of look at the tomato to seed ratio, and this is the good thing about a mortgage lifter. Look at that. You cut some of these other tomatoes, you'll have the big seed pockets. I think they call this a beefsteak tomato. I don't know what they call it. This is a heirloom, whatever variety. Let me slice up a little bit, and I'll give you my thoughts on the matter. Let's do a half slice. And salt and pepper. A little pepper. A little kosher salt. Make the Jews happy. Let's see what we got here. The first thing you'll notice about a mortgage lifter is there's a lot more acid, or a lot more citrus type taste in them. We don't care for them as much, but if you want poundage, if you want to lift your mortgage, you want to sell pounds of tomatoes, mortgage lifters are the way to go. I've only got one of these and it's not fully ripe, but we have eaten a bunch of these, and I've got several green ones out there. I'm just kind of in a lull with these, and this was the ripest one we had, and these are the Tasmanian Chocolates. You saw us plant these in the DIY tomato containers. We love these. These are small. And the reason, I think the reason tomatoes are getting smaller now, we're in the drought, we're in the dry part of summer. It's July the 24th or something like that, 22nd, 23rd. I never know exactly what day it is. I know when Sunday is and I know when Wednesday is. So, it's Monday, by the way. Anyways, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to peel this this Tasmanian chocolate, and I'm telling you, these are a great tasting tomato. They're usually about twice this size. I'm going to cut that core out. Let me slice this one right down the middle, and we'll have a look at it. We usually get these a little redder than this, but as you can see, it's kind of a purpley green, you might say chocolate flavor, or chocolate color, and I don't taste like chocolate. Let me slice this one out here. Just get me a little piece. I made Champ wake up. A little pepper, a little salt. Let's see what we got. Tasmanian Chocolates. They're a determinate variety. They're not going to get great big. They're going to fill up a container. These are perfect for a patio, a back deck. Let them get a little darker red than this. This is still a good tomato. These are excellent. You can see from the inside, still very meaty, but not as meaty as the mortgage lifters. Here's a Arkansas Classic. These are Arkansas Travelers, and these are also small. They're normally about twice this size, but when you get in the heat of summer, they ripen faster because the sunshine, the longer days, more sunshine, more warm weather. These are a pink tomato. If you look at the insides of them, you're going to see a lot more seeds. If you look here, you're going to see basically three, I don't know what you call that, meaty parts of the flesh and then the seeds. So they make a lot of juice. These are a good tasting tomato. They're pink. They don't ever get real red. They're very mild. I think I'll just mop up some of the other. Yeah, that'll be enough. Let's try it. A lot more runny, juicy, watery, not nearly as meaty as the mortgage lifters or the Tasmanian Chocolates, but a very good tomato. We're kind of, you know, we can take them or leave them when it comes to Arkansas Travelers. And, you know, these are rather small. Typically they're bigger than that. Let's go to our other yellow tomato. These are called Golden Sunrays. Funny thing here, we have two Golden Sunray plants. One of them is making tomatoes about this size. It has occasionally made some bigger, maybe twice this size. The other Golden Sunray plant is making a ton of big tomatoes, and we just currently don't have any of those. So let me slice a Golden Sunray for you. Now the first thing you'll notice about a Golden Sunray is the inside of it looks similar to that of a Arkansas Traveler. You see, you still have the big sections of seeds, and then when you look at the mortgage lifter, you don't have the big seed segments. You still have seeds, they're just not all clustered together. The thing about a Golden Sunray is, even though it may look like an Arkansas Traveler, have the same build as far as seeds and moisture and all that, this thing is super, super sweet. That's the kind of tomato you don't eat just one of. I mean, that right there, that's top shelf. Golden Sunray, yellow tomatoes. Try them. You're going to like these. Okay. So much for low carb. We planted cucumbers. We used Miracle Grow potting soil. We planted them from seeds. Somehow, in one of those flats, one of the cucumber plants sprouted up, and it had a weed in there with it. And I started to pull it, but I wasn't sure what it was, and I thought, how do we get a weed in there? Let it grow. I said, that looks like a tomato plant. So we left it in the same little 6-pack, you know, in the same little single section of a 6-pack with a cucumber plant. We planted it up here on the driveway. It's a mosquito. Got him. Anyways, it grew and it became these little clusters of red cherry type tomatoes. They're kind of oblong. They're very firm. They're a lot harder, a lot stiffer compared to the yellow ones. Interestingly enough, we've never grown red cherry tomatoes ever. I don't know where the seed came from. It had to be maybe in there with the, I would have saw it. I mean, cucumber seeds are big. Maybe it was in the potting soil, didn't get sterilized. I'll dabble it around here on some leftover salt and pepper. Confession time. I love these. I just do not know what what variety they are. But those are good. So if you get a bonus tomato, it might be a good one. Maybe that's something the Russians have slipped into our agricultural system. I may be getting poisoned. Lastly, speaking of Russians, these are purple Russians. You say, preacher, those aren't purple. No, they're kind of purple down on the bottom, but they're still green on the top. And these are the first years we've grown these. Funny thing was, we were expecting this green top to finally turn purple like the rest of it. Some of them are oblong, kind of like a Roma tomato. Some of them are round. I don't know what decides what there, but one thing I do know is we love these, okay? We love these. So let me slice one here. I'll cut the middle right out of it. First thing you notice, a lot more meaty than the Arkansas Traveler, not as meaty as the Mortgage Lifter, and a deep dark purpley color in them. Now, the flavor here is excellent. Let me take a bite out of this one. So, let me rank these tomatoes in orders of favorite to least favorite. And there's not a bad tomato in the bunch. I would say my favorite tomato out of all of these would be the Golden Sunray. I like the Golden Sunray and this Tasmanian Chocolate. They're probably my favorites. Right behind them, and probably equally as much, the yellow pear, the mystery tomato, and the purple Russian. Those are all three a toss-up for third place. After that would be the Arkansas Traveler, the pink tomato, and then lastly the Mortgage Lifter, and that's mainly because the acid levels are just too high. It's just tangy. Wow. Okay, we're fixing to make some, golly. Let me tell you what's going on. We're fixing to make our own Rotel. We've never made it before, so I'm not going to video us making it because it may turn out bad. But we're going to use yellow Golden Sunrays. My wife's already blanched them and peeled them. These are the purple Russians. Kind of see they look green when you peel them. Here's a Mortgage Lifter, if I can get it out of here, give you an idea for size. That's about an average size mortgage lifter. And anyways, we're going to get all these blended up. Let me show you what else I got going on. And I'm going to do a video on this. I know I'm going to do a video on this. I'm kind of perfecting it. So we got those tomatoes that we need to get canned. I need to go get some peppers and get them cut up. Here we have sauerkraut. I've done a sauerkraut video. I've canned sauerkraut. Oh, you want to start cutting those up? I got to keep my woman working. Excuse me, guys. I do it myself, but it's easier to order it done. She won't say nothing. Not while the camera's on. When I turn this off, I'm probably going to get a chewing like y'all can't imagine. But what I want to do is show you how I'm doing small batch sauerkraut instead of doing like in a big crock like in the previous videos that I've done on sauerkraut, where I would do 4 gallons at a time and then can a bunch. I've really been enjoying making a ½ gallon at a time and then eating it or putting it in the fridge and eating on it as I need it, and that way I don't ever have to can it. So I'm going to do a video on that. Here's another thing that I do a lot. This is called crotito. It is an El Salvadorian slaw. It's good for tacos and tortas or sandwiches, Hispanic type sandwiches. Anyways, it is onions, cabbage, carrots, and peppers, salt, vinegar, and oregano, ground oregano. Anyways, you mix it up, you alter the ratio to get it about what you want, and it gives a good crunch. I eat it on everything. I put it on hamburgers, I put it on hot dogs, I put it on tacos. I'll put it in the omelets in the morning. Anyways, I need to do a video on how to make crotito. That is a very, very good cabbage slaw to keep on the counter as a condiment to put on whatever. So, I guess that wraps up the tomato tasting video. Any of these tomatoes that we've planted, there's not a bad one in the bunch. Homegrown tomatoes, regardless of variety, are all better than most anything you're going to get in the store. And there's a reason for that. What you're getting in the store was picked before it was ripe. And they picked it before it was ripe so that they could transport it. Ripe tomatoes bruise easily. And they don't keep it for a couple of days. And so it's the difference between getting a fruit that's ripe and a fruit that was picked green and transported. Many of the tomatoes you buy in the store are varieties of tomatoes that are designed to ship. They have harder skins, they have thicker walls, they're tougher, and they keep longer. And when you're growing them in your backyard, you don't care how long they keep, because you can walk out there any day of the week and pick you one. Any of these tomatoes would be great. I would, if you want a yellow one, go with a golden Sunray. If you want a small yellow one, go with a golden Pears. If you want a purple tomato, I recommend the purple Russian. We've tried other purple varieties. Purple Russian is by far the best producer and has the best flavor. As far as a patio tomato goes, something you can grow in a container on your back porch, Tasmanian Chocolates are hard to beat. If you want just poundage, go with the mortgage lifter. If you want pink tomatoes that don't get over about 5 foot tall, go with Arkansas Travelers. And if you want to spice it up a little bit, just plant one that you don't know what it is, like the one up on the driveway, which I wish I knew, because I would grow it again. It's great tasting tomato. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope this helps you decide what tomatoes to plant next year. And we'll see you on the next video. Maybe we'll make some crotito. I got to eat a ½ gallon of it before we do. Anyways, thanks for watching. Got a piece of pepper in my throat. Oh. Son of a gun. Oh man, I gotta have another drink. All right. The tomato was awesome. the piece of pepper that went down in my lungs, not so awesome.